Millions full-service Aveda Salon and Spa, located in the heart of historic downtown Vermilion.
Coming up on Coyote News, one student group determines the fate of student seating in the Dakota Dome.
Plus, we investigate the pest problem in North Complex. Coyote News starts right now.
Live from the Al Newharth Media Center, this is Coyote News.
Hello, and thanks for joining us. I'm Allie Boyson.
And I'm Carter Hofer. We'll get to those stories and more. But first, the U.S. Secret Service intercepted 5 bombs addressed to Hillary Clinton and former President Barack Obama today, among others.
The Secret Service say that screening procedures kept Clinton nor Obama from receiving both packages. White House Press Secretary Sarah Sanders says, quote, "These terrorizing acts are despicable, and anyone responsible will be held accountable to the fullest extent of the law," unquote.
A suspicious package was also sent to the office of Representative Debbie Wasserman Schultz near Fort Lauderdale. A police bomb squad was also sent to the New York CNN offices this morning because of a suspicious package. The offices were evacuated.
A Japanese journalist was freed after more than 3 years of captivity in Syria and is now safe in Turkey. Japanese Foreign Minister Taro Kono says Japanese embassy officials met with freelance journalist Junpei Yasuda near the border of Syria at an immigration center in Turkey. Yasuda was kidnapped in 2015 by al-Qaeda's branch in Syria. Yasuda's release came as al-Qaeda branches have become so weak that they're nearly unable to operate. Someone in South Carolina is the lucky winner of the Mega Millions jackpot. The winning ticket, worth a total of $1.53 billion, is just shy of the all-time world record. The earlier Mega Millions estimate of $1.6 billion would have beaten the world record. The ticket sold yesterday is worth just over $877 million in a lump sum cash payment, which most winners choose to receive. South Carolina is one of 8 states where Mega Million winners can remain anonymous, so the world may never know who bought the winning ticket. So Cecilia, the weather has been pretty nice. Is it going to stay like that?
Unfortunately, Allie, not so much. You're going to have to get out your umbrella because it's going to be raining the next couple days and be a bit chilly. Right now, it's 55 degrees outside. Today had a high of 56, and a low for tonight will be around 46 with a chance of rain showers. Tomorrow, the rain will continue with a high of 55 and a low of 42. Friday, the sun will come back with a high of 60 and a low of 41. And for your game day forecast, Saturday will be mostly sunny with a high of 59. But the rain is expected to make a comeback in the evening with a low of 39. And that's your Coyote weather.
In February, construction will begin on the Dakota Dome, which will result in a change of seating available for the 2019 football season. Due to the construction, the entire west side of the dome will not be available, which is currently the student seating. Student Government Association President Josh Sorby has put together a group of students to talk with athletic staff about ideas they have for solving the issue of seating for next year's season. The group, which consists of members from 7 different student groups, will try to answer the questions of what seats will be designated to students, how to allocate the seating, and what will be available for those who didn't get a ticket. In their first meeting on Thursday of last week, they decided Section B on the east side will be available for students, and possibly Section A, depending on where the band will play. Both options would leave less than 750 tickets. The west side of the dome is scheduled to be completed by August 2020. For more information, visit the Valon online.
With incoming freshman classes getting bigger and bigger each semester, new students are bound to bring in a few unwanted guests. This week, Coyote News' Sean Kuhnel learned all about University Housing's policy on pest control.
With rumors of rats and bedbugs going around North Complex, it's hard for University Housing to distinguish fact from speculation. Although bedbugs are not in North Complex and the rat has been removed from the 4th floor in Mickelson Hall, there's still more questions than answers in terms of how housing deals with these claims. A Residence Hall member, Brandy Straw, spraying for pests before each semester would help distinguish fact from fiction.
If you have it prevented now, not only do you actually prevent it, but you also totally subsidize the rumors.
Though housing was not available to sit down on camera for a conversation, I was able to get a few responses to my questions through email, and a statement saying that pest control costs wouldn't be billed to the students really stuck out to me. Since students in North Complex pay a set amount to stay there, as can be seen on this graph taken from the university website, it is odd to see that some of the cost of housing would not go towards preventing cases of pests in residence halls. This finding also has Brandy quite confused as to what our housing payment is being used for.
I figured that would be part of it, like if I'm living here, I'd be paying to have it maintained.
While North Complex does look well kept thanks to good maintenance crews, there are still some questions that need to be addressed. Reporting for Coyote News, I'm Sean Kuhnel.
If you know of any unwanted pests in any dorm, you can contact University Housing to get it taken care of.
The Wellness Center now has a new training experience for members. This past year, staff took on the initiative to replace one of the 2 racquetball courts with what is now a functional training room.
It's something we didn't have a lot of this kind of equipment, so we really wanted to get into the functional training space. I mean, there's probably 25 to 30 different things that you can do in there with a lot of different pieces of equipment.
This room welcomes 10 to 12 people at a time. Personal trainers will be teaching group fitness in this space next semester.
I think we could probably even see more traffic in as people watch people. It'll really start to hype it up.
The Wellness Center hopes to see even more people using the functional training room as the year goes on. Coming up after the break, we tell you about an important week of cultural events on campus this week.
We can't talk about it. I don't want to talk about it.
No, never mind. That's too bad. I'm not going to tread those waters.
Wait, something that's too bad for dysfunctional?
You're listening to Dysfunctional on KAOR 91.1.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much.
The Coyote Twin Theaters in downtown Vermilion, providing entertainment Tuesdays through Sundays. A proud supporter of USD student media.
This is Coyote News.
The African Student Association introduced their cultural event series that will be taking place this week. Monday night was the kickoff for African Week that featured African jewelry for sale and art. A cake in the shape of Africa was included in the celebration. President of ASA, Temi Bolagio Nineko, says this week is to educate the community.
It's served to teach the USD campus and also give the USD campus an opportunity to learn and appreciate the beauty and authenticity of the African culture.
Poster boards taught the audience about the different regions of Africa and their countries, along with their cultures. African Week events will be held in the Muck Pit.
This year, housing overbooked residence halls, and some students are concerned if they will be able to change roommates for next semester. Housing explained what they call melting, which is when students drop out of school for various different reasons. If you're looking to change your roommate, talk to your RA.
First things first, talk to your RA or your hall director, because if you go to right to the housing office, they don't always know the exact inner workings of what's going on in the halls. So definitely RA or your hall director is the best place to start, and we can navigate every situation with you.
Housing is expecting around 100 to 150 students leaving this semester. The last day you can request a roommate change is right before Thanksgiving.
The trees are starting to drop their leaves, and USD Grounds is getting ready for winter. Grounds management will soon turn their large loaders into snowplows as winter is right around the corner.
Transition our equipment into snow removal operations. We have 4 lawn mowers that we switch over to snow removal. They get equipped with a cab and a snow plow, and those go to help plow the 14 miles of sidewalks that cover this campus.
USD Ground staff is going through all the pieces of equipment to make sure they are fully operational and ready to use for winter. The machines are multi-use, making them very expensive. The equipment is expected to last for many years.
As a campus student, you may encounter the occasional dog in your class or walking through the muck. These canines are designated service dogs to individuals in need of them. You might be curious as to why one of your classmates appears to be a dog. Ernetta Fox, Director of Disability Services, explains how these dogs must act during class.
The rules is that the service dog can go anywhere the student goes, and that we do expect the service dog to be well behaved. It should follow all of the same standards that are set for canine good citizenship under the American Kennel Club as a very basic behavior guideline.
Fox says these rules include no barking and no interaction. The dog must always be under control and must remain peaceful during classes. Fox also says there are 5 registered service dogs on campus. She says students shouldn't interact or distract these dogs while they're working. Coming up after the break, one USD student took inspiration from children to make art for the community.
WH Over Museum, an entire world of history tucked away in the beautiful city of Vermilion. A world where you can stand face to face with the king of the jungle. A world where you can search for the hidden treasures of Egypt. A world seen through the eye of the majestic bald eagle. And a world where you can climb Spirit Mound like Lewis and Clark while watching the buffalo cross the plain. Experience this world of history firsthand when you stop in at the WH Over Museum. Come in today and learn more about what your world has to offer.
Coyote News.
A junior graphic design major has taken her love for the community and turned it into art. Brianna Olson is leading a project to better the Vermilion community by painting a mural that will be mounted at the Austin Elementary School.
I was a part of the mural down on the movie theater, and my painting professor, Amber Hansen, kind of encouraged me to pursue a project on my own. I kind of wanted to lead it.
Olson wanted the mural to be focused on children, so she got inspiration from kids at the Messy Hands Art Camp this summer. The theme is what makes Vermilion a special place to live.
Hopefully it encourages other kids to pursue projects working together. That was one of the most fun things for me to see was how well the kids would work together and come up with ideas and how creative they could be.
The mural is 8 feet tall and 12 feet wide. The plan is to have it installed 2 weeks from now with a special dedication. For more on this story, visit the Volant online.
USD's theater department put on Melanie Marnick's play These Shining Lives as their latest production. Based on actual events, the play was performed in USD's Arena Theater.
The events of this play focus on these women who worked at a radium dial company using radium to paint the watches. Without them knowing, they were slowly poisoning themselves as they were told that everything was safe.
And I'm playing Catherine in These Shining Lives. She is the woman who decided, with the help of her friends, to go against what her community wanted and speak up about the radium dial company and the conditions that she was forced to work under and how they weren't compensated for eventually their lives.
The Arena Theatre also helped the director to highlight the time element in the play by setting the stage as a giant watch face.
The play is focusing on the relationships of the characters and particularly the 4 women that the play centers on. And so because of that intimacy, it actually works in a much smaller theater. The venue highlights what's going on in the play.
These Shining Lives is performed on October 18 to 21st in the Arena Theatre on the USD campus. For Youth Report, I'm Habiba Ali.
To check out the theater department's next play, go to their page on the USD website.
A kids climb camp held at the Wellness Center is giving children the opportunity to climb the rock wall. This camp is being held by Brad Zwart on Sundays from now through November 18th for kids ages 8 to 14.
This kids climb camp is kind of made so that kids have more of a chance to climb by themselves and not maybe get intimidated by other college students or other community members that come in. It's kind of their own time to hang out with peers and enjoy a hobby that I really love.
A similar camp was held in the summer to encourage young climbers.
Got a lot of kids involved from the community, and so we thought, well, might as well try it during the school year and see how it goes.
The hope is to continue with the kid camp every summer.
Vermilion's marching band was just one of the groups participating in the annual Quad State Marching Band competition in the Dakota Dome on Saturday. The competition had 9 bands from 4 different states in the area competing. All bands were able to warm up and rehearse outside in the Dakota Dome parking lot before their performance time. After warming up, the bands took the field and showed the judges their performances, which have different themes every year. The Vermilion Tanagers Marching Band was at the competition and took first place in Group 4A. The drum majors from the winning bands accepted the trophies at the award ceremony after the competition. In less than 2 weeks, South Dakotans will head to the polls to elect some of our state's leaders. Coyote News' Nick Nelson is live in the muck with the Clay County Auditor to talk about how and where USD students should vote. Nick?
That's right, Allie. On November 6th, South Dakota voters will pick a new governor and a new representative in South Dakota's delegation for the U.S. House of Representatives. Now, I'm here with Carrie Krim to talk about how she's helping students at USD exercise their right to vote. Thank you very much for being here.
Hi, thank you.
So what should USD students who live in Clay County do on Election Day to exercise their right to vote?
Students who are registered within the city limits of Vermilion should go to the Armory across from the middle school on Princeton Street to vote.
All right, and what about absentee ballots? There's a lot of, out-of-community members here at USD. If they want to vote by absentee, what should they do?
Well, first of all, voters who like to vote absentee in person can do so in my office Monday through Friday from 8 to 5 up through November 5th. And then on November 6th, Election Day, they would, of course, go to the Armory to their polling place. Those who are not registered in Clay County who still would like to vote within South Dakota and maybe are registered at their home precinct, wherever that might be, can request an absentee ballot by mail. We certainly can help them with that. If they want to stop in our office, we'll help them with the paperwork and get that mailed off to the correct county. And when that county receives it, they will mail them the ballot. Now the voter just has to get the ballot back to that home county by Election Day.
Now, in recent weeks, have you seen a lot of USD students register to vote here in Vermilion?
We have. Monday was a very busy day for us with new voter registrations.
All right. Finally, why do you think it's important for college students to vote in an off-year election like this?
Every election counts. I hear a lot of people say, my vote doesn't matter, I'm only one person. A recent NPR survey showed that roughly 46% of voters think that their vote will not count, and that is so far from the truth. Every vote counts, and a classic example of that was the June primary election. The alderman race for the Northwest Ward in the city of Vermilion was a tie. It was even, and 1 or 2 votes could have changed that.
All right, thank you very much for being with us, Carrie.
You're welcome.
All right, while it is too late to register to vote, you can still vote by absentee if you are registered. Live in the muck for Coyote News, I'm Nick Nelson.
All right, thanks, Nick. And now Cooper is here with sports. I heard that the volleyball team won over our big rival.
That's right, Allie. We have the highlights of that game and more next in sports.
This is Coyote News.
Welcome back. I'm Cooper Seamer.
And I'm Cecilia Gillen. Tonight on Coyote Sports, the volleyball team wins against in-state rival South Dakota State.
Plus, we caught up with the triathlon team's head coach to talk about their inaugural season. But first, this afternoon, a jury convicted 3 defendants accused of pay-for-play schemes to influence high-profile basketball recruits to attend Kansas, Louisville, and North Carolina State.
Current Adidas employee James Gatto and former employees Mural and Christian Dawkins were found guilty after a 3-week criminal trial in federal court. The jury found Gatto guilty of 3 counts of felony charges of wire fraud and conspiracy to commit wire fraud, while Code and Dawkins were found guilty of 2 counts.
Further investigations of this scandal will continue into next year. The Boston Red Sox defeated the Los Angeles Dodgers in Game 1 of the World Series last night. After using 7 total pitchers, the Red Sox claimed the victory 8-4. Game 2 will be in Boston tonight, starting at 7. The women's cross-country team will attempt to earn their 5th straight Summer League title this weekend. The team has won the Summer League championships the previous 4 years and is ranked 4th overall in the Midwest. The championships will begin on Saturday in Omaha.
The volleyball team found success at home this weekend with 2 Summit League matchups. In the first matchup on Friday, the Yotes faced off with rival South Dakota State for the 2nd time this season. After getting ahead early in this first set, the Coyotes kept their foot on the pedal and cruised to win the first set 25-18. The second and third set brought more of the same behind a 15-kill effort by Haley Dotseth as the Yotes completed the season sweep over the Jackrabbits. Heading into Game 2 with the momentum on their side, the Coyotes hosted former Summit League runner-up Oral Roberts. The momentum carried over for the Yotes as the first 2 sets came easily behind more dominance from Dotseth. The Golden Eagles wouldn't go down without a fight, though, causing the Coyotes to lose the lead twice during the 3rd set. Eventually, the Yotes claimed the advantage to earn their 2nd straight sweep of the season. Their next action will be on the road against Western Illinois on Friday.
The USD Wellness Center's facilities offer a place to stay in shape on campus, but those craving a competitive workout can look into USD's intramural sports teams. Coyote News' Seth Jones tells us more.
Unless a student becomes an NCAA athlete, they have to look elsewhere after high school to continue their competitive sport. The Wellness Center coordinates different intramural sports for USD students.
About 35 different intramural events. Everything from your mainstream high school sports like flag football, volleyball, soccer, softball, basketball, and do some more unique things like a trap shooting competition. We've got an archery event coming up. We've got dodgeball, floor hockey, football. We've got a paper airplane competition. So we really try to make sure there's something for everybody.
This fall, there are 10 official intramural sports, including a paper airplane competition, floor hockey, and basketball. The sports teams are run by student leaders, whom ask for funds from the USD Student Government Association directly. Singh Hyson says these intramural sports teams can travel wherever they want for competitions.
They're welcome to travel as far as they want. Part of their process of being a club is requesting funding from SGA and also fundraising so they can support these traveling adventures. The baseball club is looking at trying to go down to Florida for a spring break tournament where they get about 30 or 40 teams from across the nation. Most of the time they travel regionally simply because of cost, but occasionally they will travel outside the region.
In the spring, there are 3 sports including both men's and women's powerlifting and cricket. For the Sports Report, I'm Seth Jones.
For more information on USD's intramural sports, visit the website to find all their sports, their seasons, and talk with the club leader. Women's triathlon is about to finish their inaugural season at USD. Head coach Kyle Joplin is proud of the progress his team has made so far. Joplin hopes they will compete well at nationals against their 2 biggest competitors, Arizona State and Queen's University in Charlotte.
But we are looking at kind of what we feel like are our strengths and maybe their weaknesses and trying to come up with a little bit of a plan of attack. I think a top 3 finish this year would be a good goal, and I think we should be able to do that.
With 2 international athletes on the 5-person roster, Coach Joplin hopes to triple the size of this team by next year.
When you're building a team, you can talk a lot about what you're going to do, but they have to kind of take my word on that.
Seniors Brooke Bennis and Kathleen Juffer posted their season best times at the East Regional Qualifier last weekend. Women's triathlon will head to nationals in Tempe, Arizona on November 4th.
The swimming team hosted Iowa State in a 13-event duel this weekend. Despite ultimately losing to the Cyclones 97-146, the Coyotes set 3 new records and a new zone diving mark. Freshman Cassie Ketterling broke the 200-meter individual medley record, while senior Morgan Holt reset her own record in the 200-meter butterfly. Sophomore diver Haley Peterson highlighted the duel after winning the 3-meter dive with a score good enough for second all-time in school history. Peterson's efforts also earned her Summit League Diver of the Week for the first time in her career. The soccer team improved to their best record since 2015 after defeating Indiana Purdue Fort Wayne this weekend. The Coyotes jumped out to an early 1-0 lead just over 5 minutes into play after a goal by Joanna Zanin. The defenses held strong for the next 40 minutes of play with no goals allowed until Zanin struck again with her second goal of the match. The Yotes kept their foot on the pedal and went on to score 3 more goals to take the win over the Macedons 5-0. Tel Tanner is here this week to tell us more about the USD soccer team's success.
That's right, Cecilia. The Coyotes have a chance to have a winning record in the regular season for the first time since 2014. With 2 games remaining on the schedule, I caught up with Taryn Labrie to take a look into the team's preparations. After a strong showing in the regular season to start this year, the Coyotes soccer team is heading into this weekend with 2 home games left. I'm here with junior midfielder Taryn Labrie. Taryn, this season the Coyotes have a chance to start out with a winning record in conference for the first time since 2015. How much of that is attributed to the hiring of new head coach Michael Thomas?
I think it has to do with a lot. I think he demands the best out of us, and I think we have shown that that's been really good for us. I think it helps that he finds the best qualities in us on and off the field, and he makes us show that, and I think that just attributes like what we've been doing on the field and shows that it really works.
Okay. This weekend we have 2 home matchups once again versus North Dakota State University and the University of North Dakota. What do we need to do to come out on top?
I think just be us. Michael tells us all the time that us works, be us, and I think if we do that for 90 minutes both games, I think we'll be just fine.
Looking into the postseason now, we are heading to Brookings this year to go into the Summit League tournament. How do we go into that environment and come out on top?
I think it's, again, just being us. Every field we go to and every place we are not at home, we have to make our own by being loud and being us. So I think if we just come into the tournament and just say, this is our field, this is us, be loud, then we'll be fine.
All right. Thank you very much, Taryn.
Thank you.
Once again, the Coyotes soccer team is home twice this weekend versus the University of North Dakota and North Dakota State University. From the Sanford Coyote Sports Center, I'm Tel Tanner for Coyote News.
Coming up after the break, we ask students what their favorite spooky movies are. Their answers next.
Roxy, who's 7 months old, dog-friendly, and she's housebroken. Her adoption fee is $150, so if you want to adopt Roxy, you can come visit her and all her friends at the Heartland Humane Society. Want it?
This is Coyote News.
The spookiest day of the year is just 1 week away.
And in this week's Out and About, we asked students what their favorite Halloween movie is.
Here's what they had to say.
Halloween Town, just because I love all the fun creatures and it's just such a great movie to watch with your family.
Halloween Town because I'm crazy for Disney movies. Hocus Pocus.
I enjoy Halloween Town because I grew up watching it as a kid.
The Haunted Mansion with Eddie Murphy because I don't like scary movies.
Nightmare on Elm Street.
The Annabelle Creation because really unexpected stuff happens in it and definitely followed up the first one great.
Chucky. I used to like Chucky as a child.
I like Scream. I think it's kind of stupid and funny.
Insidious, the Insidious series.
The Exorcist because of the soundtrack.
Probably Jeepers Creepers.
Halloween Town.
Probably Chucky.
I don't have one.
Halloween Town, obviously. Disney movies rock.
It didn't get much praise at the time. It's called Sinister.
Beetlejuice.
Halloween.
It's something about Michael Myers that I just love it.
Jeepers Creepers.
And that's all for Coyote News. Don't forget to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter and Instagram.
And be sure to watch and listen for Coyote News daily updates throughout the week on KAOR and the Coyote News social media pages.
Thank you and have a great night.